Hello, hello. Welcome to this evening's meditation. Okay, just waiting for it to restart or reset. There it goes. All right, welcome again. Glad you're here. So, I wanted to do a series on dignity. That seems like a really ambiguous term to me, and reading several books that kind of brought this up as far as me really not really spending time with what that means to me. So, the basis of this is to point out that dignity is not a reward that's granted to us by society for good behavior or success, right? It's not it's not outside of ourselves. It's not some outward something to be rushed to attain. It's our inherent non-negotiable birthright that typically systems of abuse, trauma, and capitalism work to make us forget, right? They create that divide within us that dignity is already within us, it's inherent. So I wanted to create something, a space specifically for dignity itself, so that we could really connect to it, so we can remember it and we can embody it. And mostly we can define it for ourselves. We can see how it feels within us, how it plays out in different areas of our lives, so that we're more aware of it. So today we're going to start with the somatic foundation, where it lives within our body. And as I just said, a lot of us feel that dignity is external or don't really have um, a solid connection with it. It's just a word. Feel free to let me know in the comments if this does not resonate with you at all. For me personally, as I was thinking about this, and like I say, the books that I'm reading currently is kind of speaking to this and the different experiences that the authors were talking about in relation to dignity. It just kind of struck me that I don't really have a solid foundation with this. It's just a word, right? It's some external something. It's, to be earned, it can be taken away. It's at the whims of other or outside, right? Instead of me being the one to inherently embody this, because it is a state, which, when we don't feel that it's our inherent nature, we feel less powerless, we feel more powerless to step into our own dignity because it is ours. So let's do a somatic experience to figure out where exactly this shows up for us in our body. So we're not going to do a typical Kundalini yoga tune-in because it's not really what we're doing. Feel free to have a mantra playing in your background, in your ear, that you feel would be appropriate. I've been sticking with Apsahai Hoa for the last, I don't know, month or so, helping me clear out negativity and clear my space. So feel free to have that playing if you'd like, or just some nice background music if you would feel that that's appropriate. So just to do a bit of a tonal set, space setting, go ahead and close your eyes, bring your hands into your lap. You do want to be in a meditative posture. You're upright. It can be in a chair, on a cushion, it can be on your bed. You can lay down for this if that's easier for you to do the somatic experience. So go ahead and close your eyes here. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. We're just setting the space for meditation. Solid, it's grounded, we're just clearing this out. Go ahead and exhale if you haven't already done so. And you take a couple more nice deep breaths here. Giving ourselves a chance to settle. Clearing space for a somatic meditation of dignity. Okay, one more inhale, exhale. Okay, so I want you to begin in your meditative posture again, however you're expressing that this evening. Again, laying down is perfectly fine. And I want you to just scan your body to pick up where the sense of worthlessness or shame shows up. And yes, we're starting with the heavier aspects of this because I want to front load that. I want to start with where our lack lies in our physical beings so that we end with where we're elevated, right? So go ahead and scan your body and notice where worthlessness, shame, lack, and absence, right? That's heavy, where that's showing up. And then notice where it contracts. Is it hunched shoulders? Is it a headache? Do you lower your head? Is it the sunken chest? You pull your heart back. I do that a lot. Pull my heart back quite regularly. Okay, so we're just going to breathe and notice these for a moment. I don't want you to dive into the stories. I don't want you to dive into attachment to this. We're just noticing where it is, okay? We're just becoming familiar with where we put it so that we can continue to work from that place to build it up, to heal it, to release it, right? We're not diving into the stories. The story isn't really the point of this. It's just to become familiar. And it can be sensations too. It could be hot, it could be cold, it could be sharp pains. Maybe there's tingling or numbness. Or maybe it simply feels like an absolute absence. There's nothing there, but it still feels constricted, right? Okay, we'll give it a few more moments here. Everybody can connect to it and notice where it's at. My pelvis seems to be a pretty big one. My shoulders, the back of my neck, the base of my skull, all with different sensations, which is interesting. Okay, so now we're going to slowly roll into an inherent posture of dignity, okay? So this is going to look different for everyone. I'm just going to call out basics here. This is not meant to necessarily guide. If your intuition leads you somewhere else, follow your intuition. You are your ultimate guide. Please listen to your guide. Please listen to yourself, I should say. Okay, so we're going to start here. And with this, now again, if you're on your back, if you're laying down for this, I want you to adapt this how your body directs you to, okay? How your intuition directs you to. I'm sitting in easy pose in a chair, so my approach to this is going to look differently than if I was laying down, okay? So we're going to start by slowly lifting the sternum, okay? And this should gently bring your pelvis back into alignment, right? It should bring the spine fully upright, not rigid. This is not an aggressive stance, okay? So if you need to take a few breaths to bring that sternum up, please do that. This is meant to be an easy thing. It's loving, it's comforting, it's supportive, right? There's no rush, there's no pressure here, okay? And if at any point, let's say for example, you can't get to full upright where your sternum wants to be, but your body overall is like, we can't get there yet, please listen to the overall message of this is where we can go. Thank your body, let your sternum know this is where we're at right now. We'll keep working to get you to the full position that you want to be in. Yes, I do talk to my organs. To me, it builds a very direct connection and relationship. It makes it less divided for me personally. So, all right, sorry about the squeaking. I'm moving around on my chairs. I reposition my legs. Okay. So now, after you've got your sternum lifted, either fully or where you are comfortable with getting it, where your body says is appropriate, I want you to take a moment before we move to any other parts. I want you to make note that you're not overextending here. Okay, you're not overly amplifying the movement. Okay, so you're not like bringing your sternum up so high that your spine has to round the other way. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple moments here when you've got your sternum lifted, either again fully or where you can get it. Check in with your body. Make sure that everybody's in alignment to the best of where you can be in alignment. Okay, Make sure that you're feeling better now that you've moved into this position. Okay, you feel more dignified, you feel stronger, you feel more at ease. This feels appropriate, okay? Because we're building up the dignity. We're building up that connection to dignity. We're not overextending. We're not trying to go full-fledged the other direction. Okay. And as you're checking that, making sure you're in alignment, okay, I'm assuming everyone, or I'm going to trust that everybody here is like, yep, we're good to go. Everything's perfectly aligned as I realign my own pelvis because I was overextending. I want you to gently roll your shoulders. You can start with one side, go to the other side, then do both together. You can start by going back and then go front. If you started going forward, then I want you to switch and go back. Again, make sure that you're doing both and then one at a time. We'll start going back the other way. And then as you roll your shoulders, I want you to notice what happens to your posture. Are you doing what I just did, which is round your spine, putting pressure back on your sternum? If so, bring your spine, bring that sternum back up to where you can and roll from an upright position. And I do want you to give a few more rolls if you did collapse like I did. Bring yourself back up into an upright position. And this is not as a performance, this is private, self-centered inner space of sovereignty. Okay, this is us connecting to our upright position. And this is meant to be more of a shorter practice. I just wanted to at least get some, I wanted to start with a space for this because like I say, I don't have a solid connection with dignity outside of it being a word. So these are going to kind of be, well, I have outlines of what I want to make sure I speak to. Other than that, this is largely built live. So you're seeing me actually work through this in real time as I put these pieces together, as my intuition guides me for what else is needed in the moment. So if there's anything you feel I forgot, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm happy to add that to the series. If my intuition is like, yep, that's needed, that's solid, or we need to adapt it. Okay. Now, for this last little bit, we're going to focus very much on our heart. Now, since we've moved to rolling the spine and we checked in with everything being aligned before we move to the heart space, I want you to again check in, make sure everything's aligned. Okay, so if you need to do a head roll, which is what the back of my neck is asking me to do, please feel free to do that. Perhaps if you're laying down, your body's asking you to roll your wrists, maybe roll your ankles, maybe give yourself a stretch if you're lying on your back. Please listen to what your body is asking you to do here. And that actually might be a perfect exercise for those of you that are laying down. Go ahead and give a full body stretch. Take up that space. Notice how that feels as you stretch. Actually, anybody that's sitting, let's do that as well. Stretch up. Give that body a stretch. Bring your arms to the side. Extend those arms out, and then do a nice slight little bit of a bend to the side, nice and gentle, nothing crazy. We're just taking up the space, right? We're just letting the wingspan come out, and then bring the arms back. Take note of how you feel after a really good stretch, taking up that space. Notice how that feels in your body, right? And notice where that shows up, where that feeling of expansion with taking up the space, right? The amazing feeling of a stretch, a really good stretch, right? Notice where that positivity, well, positivity is not the word I want to use, but notice where that growth and expansion shows up in your body as well. Because we can hold space for both the feelings that feel heavier and like they're pulling down, along with the feelings that feel empowering and elevating. We can hold space for both. It's important that we do. Okay, so inhale, notice where the expansion is flowing. Notice if there's an area specifically where it shows up like, woohoo, this is my spot. Because it's a good place to reference if you're feeling like being sucked into moments of being pulled down, however that shows up, whatever type of emotion or thought comes up for you. It's a good touchstone to have a, notice where you store happiness in your body, to reach for that, to allow it to open, to help, right? To anchor to yourself. Okay. Now, I want you to bring your focus again, still with that sternum up, shoulders back, everything's in alignment. We're not overextending, pelvis is aligned, spine is upright but not rigid. Bring your focus to your heart. And I want you to notice how your heart responds simply to the word dignity. Now, if there are thoughts that are shooting out, if there's emotions that are overflowing, I just want you to keep your focus on your heart and just notice the sensations going on, the thoughts going on. And if you get lost in either the thoughts or the emotions, just thank them. Bring your focus right back to that big, beautiful heart. And we're just going to notice. And then keep an awareness of where your body is as you bring your focus back to your heart. Did you crunch down? Did you pull away? Did you sink your heart? And then just remind yourself, okay, bring that beautiful sternum up. Spine aligns, pelvis is back into alignment as well. Bring that beautiful, big, beautiful heart back out. Nice deep breathing here. We're just familiarizing ourselves with the word dignity itself, right? What's the reaction that's happening within us? Because this is going to guide us for how to build our practice, right? What areas we can follow in order to build these different gaps within ourselves where we feel, there's trauma, there's suffering, there's hurt that we can heal, right? This is going to direct us on how best to address that, where to go first, that type of thing. Okay, so as you said, you're still scanning. Again, focus here is on your heart, your posture, nice long deep breathing. Allow what flows up, thoughts, emotions, physical ailments, all of it to the best of your ability within your boundaries. If your body at any point says stop, please listen to that above all. I want you to just allow it to flow up, okay, again, within the boundaries that you have set for yourself. And I want you to consider, as you're again just bringing awareness, I want you to consider that dignity is not something that we think. This is not a mental concept. It's not a mental construct, right? This is something we inhabit. This is something that we are. It's something we have. And I want you to notice how your body responds to that. Again, do you collapse down? Do you pull your heart away? Are you shaking your head? Do your shoulders tense? Are you statement? Perfect. Look, listen to all of that. That is a perfect guide. That is showing you exactly where we need. If on the other hand, you're like, yep, right there with you, I got it. Okay, perfect. I also want you to notice within that, yep, got it, perfect, what else is happening? Okay, are you noticing anything else coming up? Is there an aspect where you're like, yeah, perfect, I get that, I'm on board. I would also like to explore this, or I would actually like to learn more about this. Okay, just what's happening. And again, this upright posture. Nice deep breathing. Last little bit, wasn't going to include this, but it feels like that's what's needed, at least on my end. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of tapping, so EFT. So if you put your fingers on your collarbones, you bring them down to where the tips of your fingers can still touch your collarbones. I want you to tap right on that spot. Still in an upright position, still with that beautiful sternum raised, that big beautiful heart open, your shoulders are down and back, pelvis is aligned with spine is upright. I want you to just take some nice long deep breaths as you tap on the points, the collarbone points. Again, if you bring your fingers onto your collarbone, drop them down just enough to where the tips of your middle fingers touch the collarbone, where the pads of your fingers touch, it's that spot. And we're just going to do some firm but um, not aggressive tapping. So it's firm taps, so you can hear it in my voice, right? I'm firmly tapping, but it's not aggressive. I'm not like beating myself. It's just a firm tap to release those stuck places. It's releasing the somatic energy. It's allowing muscles to unclench from anything that's stuck. And this works whether you're upright, you're laying down. I've done this while driving, feeling stressed out about, certain traffic issues that I saw happening. I started tapping with one hand, and you can also just tap on one side if you prefer. You can do both. Either way, it's still effective. Nice long deep breathing. And I want you to really bring your focus. So expanding out from the heart, I want you to notice how you feel sitting upright within your own power, within your own sense of self as it is right now. Okay, that I'm not looking for perfection. It's cool if you don't feel it's where you want to be, you don't feel perfect, etc., etc. That's okay. That's not the goal here. We're not looking for perfection. I want you to expand out into the places that feel good as you sit upright, as you're taking up space, as you've opened that big, beautiful heart. Your sternum is raised, pelvis and spine are aligned. And we're just going to take a couple deep breaths here while we just simply sit with this feeling so that we can bring the memory of this to the body so we know physically how it feels to be unbowed, so that we can start to embody this sense along with the feeling of crunching down, pulling our hearts back, etc. So, okay, last time we're going to go ahead and inhale, still tapping. Exhale. Okay, a little bit longer on the tapping. I'll do one more breath. Okay, two more breaths. Sorry, my intuition is adding more here. Okay, nice long deep inhale. Exhale. Still tapping. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, and then bring your hands into your lap, or if you're laying down, bring them next to your body. We're going to take a couple nice long deep breaths here. Okay, with your eyes still closed, bring your hands to heart center. You can rub them together if you like to, or just bring them to heart center. And then we're just going to close by saying Sat Nam. That way we know that we've brought the meditation to a close. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. So I hope you found this helpful. I wanted to, like I say, step into this space as far as offering something that speaks more to dignity so that we can connect to it. For anyone that feels like I do, where it's pretty much an ambiguous term, it's a word, right? I've never really bothered to forge a connection to the meaning of it. So wanted to dedicate some space to that. Like I said, I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to drop any comments in or drop any notes in the comments. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.